Ooga fucking ooga, cunts, and welcome to Cunt Team Beta. Tonight we have a bunch of random topics which will somehow stream together into a cohesive conversation. Tonight we have the usual Cunt Team Beta, Robert, Thorn, and Dolphin.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey guys.
That last one was not Dolphin.
Dolphin.
Yeah, we went out of order.
Whatever. Who needs
There's
a
an
stinking order?
I wasn't aware of this order. What is the order again?
I don't know.
It's order 66.
So what topic do we want to start with?
Porn.
I don't know. Let's just go ahead and kill the vegans real quick.
Yeah, let's start with the more depressing one.
Yeah, let's start with the one that's going to make us all like assholes first.
Yeah.
That way we have plenty of time to redeem ourselves or solidify our position.
Yeah, we're probably all going to solidify the position.
Yeah, I'm pretty good. Yeah.
Asshole. You want to start, Bren?
Sure, look up the article.
By the way, we don't have great presentation because Schmeckel is in zombie form at the moment.
Yeah, our producer is having a nap.
The producer is set us free and has decided to just leave us alone, unmonitored.
So bring on the gay porn.
This can only go well.
Remember, no presentation, so you have to talk during the entirety of the gay porn.
Yeah, we have to give a play-by-play, like we're watching a fucking football game.
There we go. And there's the article.
We could just read it, honestly, since we don't have a presentation ability.
Yes.
Holy shit, is that who I think it is?
Yes, it is.
Ah, there's Howard. How are you, Isa?
Holy shit.
All right, for everyone else, I'll put it inside chat too so you can read it.
Can you hear me, guys?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes.
Nice.
How you doing?
Yeah, so far so good. I have a few technical issues with that thing, so if I drop out, I'll just pop in again later.
Yeah, sorry about the delay. We didn't get the link on time. So sorry about the delay.
Yes, we do apologize if you're watching the cunt stream and are pissed. Suck it up.
All right, so for our first topic, and this is kind of depressing, a YouTuber who claimed veganism cured her cancer dies of cancer. Apparently, this was a YouTuber channel called Mari and Liz, who they claimed, basically paraphrasing, that being a vegan and praying to God plus something called lemon ginger blast helped cure her cancer.
Lemon ginger blast sounds like a type of herbal tea.
It does.
Or a sex position.
A delicious, delicious herbal tea, but not a cure for cancer.
I'm not going to lie. The lemon ginger blast recipe, when I looked at the video, it sounds like a very delicious juice to drink.
Oh.
It does not sound like a cancer cure.
Cancer? Or even a treatment? Or anything?
Now, the saddest part of this whole story is that apparently Mari, the one who passed away, actually asked that the videos be removed because she realized she was dying and that it really didn't help. But the niece is keeping them up because she still believes in the health benefits.
Oh, what a...
Oh, that's so fucked up.
That is so fucked up. Even the lady, she realized, hey, I made a huge mistake, and I don't want people to make the same mistake as me. And the niece is like, nah, we're just gonna do it anyway. She believes in the health benefits. She wants the money.
It's the worst kind of fake news.
It is.
Yes.
Oh, this sucks.
Yeah, like I said, it's the depressing one.
All she should have done is, like, had a steak at a cure to cancer, right? That's what we're going with.
Yep.
Look, if it didn't die, why are you?
I mean, I go with chemo, but
that's a great headline, though.
And the same mindset that killed Steve Jobs.
Yeah, and the sad part is, the niece is now claiming that her aunt's death from cancer came not from the cancer, but the fact that the aunt at some point consumed meat and used a microwave.
Microwave.
Oh, wow.
Microwaves don't.
That's the opposite of curing cancer.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Tesla would be proud.
Paige Avila says it sounded like Opal for a second.
I
know I can.
okay.
Hi,
Shut the
my
fuck
name
up.
is Opal, and I'm an adult, and
Somebody find
I
my knife.
pay taxes.
That's actually a really good impression.
Wow.
I'm impressed.
I was watching the chat and I know there's a delay. I thought Opal came in.
See, right? It was a good impression.
Thought Opal came in. I was,
It was a
like,
good
switching
impression.
back over
It
to
sounded just
Hangouts.
like her.
Like, what the hell? I
have to-
thought we banned her.
Opal's not banned.
I mean, she generates a lot of money when we ask people to pay to kick her out, but that's pretty much,
That's it, pretty much it.
Next
Yeah,
time we
she's
do
our
a
favorite
fundraiser.
and it feels like work when she's on.
Next time, I like having Opal on, but next time we have a fundraiser, I will talk like Opal the entire time, and they have to pay money to get me to stop.
Oh, God, you're a terrible person.
Because it doesn't hurt my throat or anything.
So what does our guest think of the very first subject?
I
Is that me?
Yes.
That would be you.
Okay. Okay. You know, it's kind of ironic that the person who claims that she cured her cancer dies of the cancer that she believed that she cured. And it's even more ridiculous that Denise keeps it up. But the thing is, Denise probably holds so much stuck to this idea that she wouldn't take it off either way, not because she actually wants to harm people, but because she's so completely bought into this stupid nonsense. Which is kind of sad if you think about it, because chances are, I mean, they're low, but chances are that she might get cancer too, or other people might get cancer too, and they will have exactly the same problem.
Yeah, I just had a thought. Her life's not on the line, is it?
No, it's not.
No,
doesn't
her life's
have-
not. No, she has nothing but to gain from this.
That's pretty upsetting, actually.
You know what I find amazing is, do these people not think that like a healthy diet is one of the first things that scientists check out when how it reacts to a certain disease and shit like that?
Yeah. There are nutritionists that help cancer patients, that help them out picking the best diet to go with their chemo to help them keep their strength or something they can eat.
Honestly,
Yeah,
if you're a vegan,
if being a vegetarian could cure cancer, like, do you think scientists would have fucking noticed that by now?
You know, if I may just chime in here for a second, we all treat cancer as if it's like this one sickness. There are so many different cancers and so many different ways to cure cancers of different types. That being just like, oh yeah, I can cure cancer, quote unquote, cancer by eating this or eating that, is ludicrous on its face.
Yeah, I mean, there's some where you can cut it out. There's some that are, if you have it, it's terminal.
well, I get what Issa's saying is it's kind of like saying I have a pill that cures disease.
Right. There's never a magic bullet.
What disease?
It'll remove your virus.
It'll remove. Yeah, this pill cures disease.
It will kill.
I mean, just to give an example. There are people who are celiacs. They cannot consume. How's it called? Gluten. Yeah, so they cannot consume gluten. Now, in their case, they very likely prevent any kind of intestinal cancer if they do not eat gluten. But not eating gluten will not stop someone from getting a brain cancer.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Andy Kaufman died of lung cancer, and he didn't smoke.
Yeah, and the sad thing is this woman originally had breast cancer. And she didn't seek traditional treatment. And then it spread, according to the article, to her blood, liver, and lungs.
And that's one of the ones that's pretty treatable.
And breast cancer is pretty treatable if you catch it early enough.
Yeah, we have a lot of knowledge around that type of cancer and treatments and whatnot.
That's one of the few that you can actually, if you catch it early, there's almost no real medical, like no body damaging treatments. It's just to get in there, cut it out, and then there's an entire industry around rebuilding it. So
Yeah.
it seems a little silly. You don't have to pour chemicals in. You don't have to go through radiation with something like that. Just, as soon as you discover it, go in and get it treated.
Well, there are many cancers where, you cut it out and you're done. The reason why people get chemo is when it metastasizes, when it goes through the body and you don't exactly know where it is. That's when it starts chemo. Or when it is, quite grown already. But when they're very small, there are a lot of cancers that you can just remove.
Are there certain types that if you try to remove them and you miss pieces, it can spread to other parts of the body?
Oh, yes, there are. That's why they are so careful. Like, for example, one of the most dangerous cancers that you can get early enough is skin cancer, where if, for example, you have a mole and it turns malicious and you don't cut it off properly, chances are it gets into your bloodstream and it just metastasizes everywhere.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna never go in the sun again.
I avoid sunlight anyway. It's good anti-aging tip.
Actually, sunlight's very good for you. Yeah, did you know that in places where they get low sunlight, like the northern Scandinavia, northern Russia, places like northern Canada, they actually have higher suicide rates and higher rates of anorexia
it's because
and bulimia.
of a vitamin. Your skin produces a certain vitamin, and if you do not have that in your bloodstream, you're kind of off. But the thing is, the people that live in the north, the people who usually have a light skin, the reason they have a light skin is because it's much easier for a light skin to pick up sun or very few of it, And so if you don't have sun, you eat vitamin. I don't remember which vitamin it is, but you eat vitamin
D.
and you're
It's
fine.
D.
D. So you eat a vitamin and you're fine. It's not like you have to go out into the sun necessarily. The problem is if someone, for example, who has a very light skin color goes constantly into the sun, is much more likely to get any kind of growths or moles or anything because of the fact that the skin is much more sensitive to it.
Does someone else have a happier story now?
Something other than vegans and cancer.
How about porn?
Ooh, porn's a happier subject.
Maybe not so
Don't
much.
do that. Don't do that to
Not when it's combined with Florida, apparently.
Oh my god.
Porn in Florida.
What did Florida man do now?
Is this going to be a fun story?
Not really. It's more extremely annoying. But Florida, I think the state of Florida has now decided that we are now not even to allow to talk about the gun issue for the next 2 years. But porn is a public health hazard.
Oh wait, I saw this.
Yes. It was in the same vote.
Porn is a public what?
Porn is a public health risk.
Why?
Yeah, Tuesday the House of Representatives, where the kids from the school in Florida were, they decided to declare porn a public health risk.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's Florida.
What, are people like watching porn on their phones and just jizzing all over the city, or what?
That's a whole bunch of Florida bullshit right
puddles
there.
of spooge all over the place.
In Florida, porn is a bit like, how should I say this? There are only two kinds of people who have a very, very unhealthy attitude towards porn, and it's the ones who are addicted and the ones who never get anything. And Florida is either one or both or the other. So,
living in Florida, I actually learned that it's a huge hub for making it.
Oh yeah. Florida is semi the Hollywood for porn.
Yep.
This is
That's where they do all the Girls Gone Wild, right? That was down in Florida.
Article in the side from the Sun Sentinel.
I'm guessing that this bill was created by some Florida representative or something who was surfing porn one day, like sitting in the bathroom getting ready, and he scrolls down and he clicks on something. Boom! Up comes his 16-year-old daughter, and he's like, "Holy shit! Gotta write a law."
I'm not sure that would be.
I think it might be more like one of those old grandpas who have like this stereotypical idea of porn, where it's just, the guy comes in, fucks the girl, and moves out again, and he's on a porn site, and suddenly he finds a kink, gets a heart attack, and moves out, and he's like, okay, porn has to be banned.
Yeah.
Or he's just very Catholic and is just like, oh God, now I have to go to confession again.
Catholics don't hate porn. That's why we have confession. My mom's Catholic. All you have to do is you do something bad, you go tell the priest, you do something bad again. It's like,
yeah, he had to go to confession too much. It was becoming a huge inconvenience.
Well, no, sometimes you just store it up and you go every once in a while and you just have a list for the priest of everything you did wrong.
Do you have to write it down or you have to remember it? Is there a rule?
I'm paraphrasing, but the House Democrats have basically said that we have more important things to do and this is a waste of everyone's time.
This was House Democrats in Florida?
The Democrats are saying it's a waste of everyone's time.
Oh, the
okay, so
forgive me, Father, for I have sinned.
And we've got a $5 from American Phoenix saying, okay, Super Chat is working again. And what's up? Hi, Thorn. Hi, Ren. Hello, Paige. And totally left me out of the chat altogether. So
I know, me too. Well, thank you for reading that and saying hi to everybody else, Dolphin. That was awesome.
Yeah. And you left Rob out, too.
You left me out, too, yeah.
Left, right. Well, you've been muted for a while, so.
Yeah, I had to go upstairs for a minute.
And where's the love for our guest?
Yes,
she said the original.
Everybody else in the chat have been giving mad praise to Iseth. Everybody loves Iseth.
Thanks. Let me find this on YouTube because I want to open the page, but I use my phone right now. I use my phone to do everything right now, and it's a pain. That thing just doesn't want to cooperate with me. It's like my phone and I have, how should I say, a difficult relationship.
Also, oh hey Mark.
But yeah, I can't read the chat, so I'm sorry.
It's okay.
We might not be able to share screens for articles and such because we don't technically have a producer.
And here is the stream link, the view link, if you want it on the side.
And American Phoenix, the reason you can't cuss in super chats anymore is because Google has decided it's going to censor out any bad words.
Yes, we shouldn't have to see words that make us feel bad.
In super chats?
In super chats.
You pay for that.
Seriously? Yeah, exactly. You pay money.
You pay
for that swear word, damn it.
No, this comes from too many people jumping onto CNN streams yelling cuck.
Yeah, we have Memory in the chat. What's up?
Hey.
Oh, hey.
No.
I love that Mem's been showing up lately. That's awesome.
Oh, what's up, Mem?
Hi, Mems.
And Iseth, they're also doing it to, if you've noticed Top Chat and Live Chat, Top Chat is filtered chat with no swear words.
Yeah, so Top Chat is for retards. Change it to Live Chat.
Wow.
Crazy.
Cancer gets away with saying whatever he wants just in the regular chat. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to
It's
me.
because it's the regular chat. It's like, hey, I don't pay for it, therefore I can say what I want. This is typical YouTube thinking. That's so YouTube.
I'm paying for it and there's rules. I'm not paying for it.
Not even. I mean, this Wojcicki person is just completely mental.
Yeah. And no one gives a shit about her turkeys and fuck her.
Oh, and all her videos are so cringe.
Yes.
Yes, they are.
Her face is cringe. Oh my god.
She's cringe.
You know, the thing is, I'm super convinced because she has a sister who's a manager in some kind of other company, genetical whatever company.
Mm-hmm.
Send us your genes, we'll figure out who your ancestry is. That kind of company.
Was it? Oh, it's not DNA Ancestry. It's 23andMe.
Yes, that one.
The one that got sued.
Yeah.
What'd they get sued for?
So I guess they were putting fake black ancestry in the results of certain people.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Strictly to piss them off because they're just like, we're poning the racists by faking genetic details.
Oh, what douchebags! No, when you look at what's her name, Wojciechowski, whatever, Wojcicki.
Sister Sue.
No, I
Polish
refuse to say
name.
it properly. All right, hold on. I got to interrupt for a super chat from American Phoenix for $5. Find them from now on. All my super chats are going to be flirting or backhanded insults. Dolphin, I admire your bravery for wearing that shirt.
Hey, he called you out in that one. He gave you a shout out in that one.
I love that. That's like the perfect super chat. It's like, yeah, you swear just in the backhand. Just go around it. It's awesome.
I love you too, Phoenix.
It's definitely going to make for some very creative super chats. So,
Oh yeah,
silver lining.
they're going to turn to shitlord poets finding ways of swearing without swearing.
You know, you can insult someone so much more by cutting out the swear words.
Right?
Mm.
It's harder though. You gotta. Really,
No. But
we can bring some of the old classics back.
You could say you're a cunt, or you could say you're an unused old rotting cave hole.
Wow. Okay, the second one does hurt more.
Damn, that was savage. That's like way more savage than cunt.
We need to bring back the old Victorian insults. I mean, how much more entertaining would those be?
Oh,
your mother was a lizard, and your father smelled of elderberries.
I really pissed somebody off once. I really pissed somebody off once by saying, people just tolerate you. I don't know. They got angry.
Yeah.
No, you lean in real quick, real close, and you just whisper, when you leave, everybody talks shit. And just lean back out, just walk away.
The funniest comment I ever got was when someone called me a harlot, and I'm like, I actually kind of like that.
It's a great word, harlot.
It is.
It's fun to say.
It almost sounds like you're in a corset on a motorcycle.
Right?
It does.
It's like a punk version of a stripper.
No, it's a really, really, really classy, call girl. That'd be the harlot. Like the classiest of all call girls.
Yes. Nothing wrong with being a call girl, by the way. There's nothing wrong with that. If you got it, sell it.
Mm-hmm. Why not get paid for a date?
Yeah.
Actually, the straight up definition is a prostitute or promiscuous woman.
Which makes no sense because a prostitute and a promiscuous woman are not the same thing.
Right.
No, they're very different.
A prostitute's the smart one.
Not necessarily. I mean, if you just are in for the fun, why should you ask money? Like, you have a lot of very hot, cute-looking guys that just don't have the money. You can just fuck them for free. Where's the problem?
Okay, the prostitute's the capitalist.
Yeah.
The prostitute has fun and makes money doing it. Also, see porn star. Reading Grand and Thorn Midnight. Anyway. If we had to insult Brockus, what name would we call him? From Zell. I have no idea.
You have to come up with the insult that involves. That's actually kind of a hard thing for a nice little
broccoli.
Nice little game to play on a live stream. Tell people to come up with insults, but they can't swear.
Oh shit!
Hook had some of the best ones. Your Luke food, bag of pre-chewed food, dude.
So I guess my answer is I don't know. Ask Cunt.
Yeah, Cunt could probably come up with better insults than us.
Wow. So
nothing for you here says kidney wrenching tampon blaster.
Ooh,
that's pretty good. I always liked
words together.
Cum bubble. That was always one of my fun. But that's kind of is cum a swear word? Will that count?
Well, yeah, I was gonna say what constitutes a swear word because all mine have something like slut or whore in them.
My favorite one has shit in it. So
is dick a swear word? I mean, it's a name,
Technically.
detective.
According to Disney, maybe.
Unless
Oh, come
you're
on! They put that on the cover of their videos.
I guess if you can't say it in a Disney movie, it's a swear word.
if his name is Richard, you can call him a dick.
Oh, okay.
And I think I've actually seen that on TV, like where they're calling him Dick and they're emphasizing the word Dick, but his name is Richard, so they can get away with it. But he's just calling him a Dick. It's like, how you doing, Dick? Doing all right, Dick.
I need to read out from Igor. You are all festering marks upon the backside of the universe. Love you, hon.
Appreciate it.
I hope your life is long and very interesting.
Yeah, that's the ultimate insult. May you live in interesting times.
Mhm.
May you have a long and interesting life.
Indeed.
So, do we have any other topics that people would like to discuss?
So stuck on the fact.
Talking about porn. Are we all porn
I
out?
heard a claim on some news channel today that there is no such thing as feminine, or what is it, toxic femininity. Anyone want to weigh in on this?
Bullshit.
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 Everything in anything has the potential to be toxic.
We were watching anti-bullying PSA on the Mistaken Lunatics last night, and the three characters, it was two girls bullying another girl, and they were doing things like fucking throwing her into the trash can and showing up at her house and throwing like a fillet of fish at her, and I'm like, that's not how girls bully other girls. They don't.
No.
That's more of a guy thing. I've never seen anybody get thrown into a trash can at school before.
No, if a girl is bullying you, she's smiling to your face.
Girls are vicious.
Oh yeah.
They're vindictive, underhanded, and never honest.
Boys,
when it comes to
boys will just rough you up a little bit, and then y'all will forget about it. Girls will be like, "No, I'm going to destroy your fucking year."
And girls will wait. Girls will let something go for fester for 6 months. You think that girl's forgotten about it.
In fact, that's part of the plan.
Yeah. 6 months later, she's talking you into wearing the ugliest outfit to the school dance, claiming to set you up with someone, and then turning around and laughing when you're there by yourself and you're the ugliest thing there.
You had a really rough prom, didn't you?
I actually didn't go to prom. That was a grade school dance.
Oh, okay.
I didn't go to prom.
I played D&D and smoked pot with my friends instead.
I just stayed home by myself because my date canceled.
So, no
fuck
updates
that
on Shoot Yourself yet.
Your date canceled on you? That's some bullshit right there.
Nope.
You should have gone and then fucked some other guy and sent him pictures. Just be like, look what you missed.
But
her, even better.
Yeah, after I went through all that shit to actually get both of our names on the thing, because at first they didn't want to put girls on there, and I argued my case and all that shit, and then she ditched me. Fuck her. I went through some bullshit.
Thorne, it could have been worse. The reason I didn't go to prom was my boyfriend was too old for the school to allow me to bring him as a date.
Oh,
you were a jailbait.
Yeah, she was.
21's not that much older.
That's only 3 years.
I consider jailbait not necessarily young girls, but young girls who go after older guys. You've got to know that you're putting that dude in a really, really precarious position, and he should know better.
Unless he catches you when you're 18, and then it's perfect.
Igor, why are you robbing the cradle?
I don't know. That's still weird.
You laugh. He's 6 years older than me.
Oh, so maybe he's not robbing the cradle. Maybe you're robbing the grave.
No, robbing the grave is when you're in your 30s and your boyfriend's in his 90s. That's robbing the fucking grave. When your significant other can be killed by a misstep.
Oh, that was another thing we saw, a video we saw with these people with crazy addictions. This one guy said his addiction was hooking up with old ladies. They said it showed video of him making out with like a 95-year-old lady.
So there's
it's-
male versions of gold diggers.
I think that
I
might
don't
be
know.
the
Of course there is.
Oh yeah,
I
I'm
like
sure
the
there are.
texture of the skin. It's
This
like
old lady
paper.
didn't seem like she had money.
I
Okay.
think that might fall under fetish.
Yeah, but she was just
that's
the
not
right amount of
necessarily
wrinkly.
true though. I remember that I think it was in Germany where I was there for like a 3-month summer. And there was this old woman, she was about like 65 or 70, and she had like this 18, 19-year-old guy with her that was her boyfriend. And that guy was just waiting for her to, kick off, So no, there are gold diggers also for guys.
I think
for
gold
women.
digger is a gender neutral term at this point.
Yeah, at this point.
I mean,
I'm sorry,
hey,
what word is that?
gold digger.
Gold digger.
Oh. Yeah.
There's no gender attached to that. It could be a guy or a girl.
Well, I guess in a way it is kind of a smart retirement plan if you can pull it off.
Totally.
Guess the only issue would be the family coming to fight you on it.
Well, see, this is where you have to be a smart gold digger. You sign a prenup before the marriage. Now, this prenup gives you a lot of stuff, and that's the mistake they make. If you sign the prenup that guarantees you a lot beforehand, the family is less likely to go after you because you're not a gold digger. You signed a prenup.
And you still get stuff.
Then they're just not thinking outside the box.
Yeah, there are also clauses in there that'll nullify the prenup. So if you get them to break the clause, then boom, then you can fucking hit them for everything.
Right, like cheating is a big one.
Yeah. Yeah, infidelity is a big
See,
one
that
for
really
sure.
bothers me. Like, that should be part of the marriage contract. That's like right there in the beginning, I think.
I remember.
I don't know.
I remember that the what's yours is mine thing.
Oh, I mean, technically, since you can file for divorce on the grounds of infidelity, it kind of already is. It's just not strictly written.
That makes sense.
It's like, yeah, I'm leaving my wife because she's a serial cheater.
Well, you
Or
can
my
leave
husband.
your husband or wife for any reason.
Pretty
All
much.
right, so I've got to read this wonderful $5 chat from American Phoenix, who has found another great way of getting around the rules. Who's the German chick? Do I need to hide my Jewish friends?
When was the last time you got German, Seth?
I'm just curious how you have Jewish friends and where you're hiding them.
He has an attic.
I have this big thing. I tell them it's a shower.
So, do you want to introduce who you are? Because I think some of our viewers are confused.
And
Who
are
I
you
am?
German? I didn't think
Yes.
you were German.
No, I
thought you were a Russian bot.
no. Okay, so let's put a few things straight here. I'm not Russian and I'm not German. I was living in Poland quite a decent amount of time, and I was living in Germany quite a decent amount of time. Not that much in Germany, to be fair. More in Austria and in the north of Italy, where for some weird reason they speak German too. But I don't have German citizenship or anything, nor the Polish one.
Oh, so are you Polish now? Are you?
No,
You
no.
That's not how that works.
Oh, like so you're just Northern Italian.
I have the Dutch citizenship, so I guess that makes me Dutch. But I never really lived very long in the Netherlands.
Oh. Okay. Dutch,
on.
I guess? I don't know.
Well, that's your nationality. Are your parents Dutch?
Yeah. No, and I actually got the Italian citizenship later on because I was long enough in Italy.
Oh, cool.
But that's earned and not born into. So I don't know.
Oh. Well, yeah, she's not Russian. She has to lay down the law on every stream she goes on. It's fucking funny.
It's that Polish influence. It does.
It's because every American ever thinks anybody with a European accent is automatically either Russian or German.
You know, the thing is, I clearly do have a bit of a Russian influence in there, or rather a Slavic influence, because it's not Russian, it's Slavic. But, you know, most Americans wouldn't really notice the difference. And that is because I was actually living in Poland. I got pissed off from my parents, and I was like, fuck you all, I'm taking the car and I'm going to Poland, because, you know, I could go to Germany because I know German, I could go to the Netherlands because I know Dutch, I could go anywhere. But no, I decided to go to a country where I don't know the language, which in that case was Poland. And then I learned the language there, and as a result, because I had to speak English all the time with the Polish people, I started to talk Polish English.
Oh, yeah. My grandmother, who was from Germany, was friends in her golden years with another German lady who spoke German with a southern accent because she learned how to speak English from a bunch of black ladies from Atlanta.
That's funny.
So she was a Chicagoan that permanently sounded like she was speaking with the southern accent.
That's freaking great. I love people with weird accents. You see, like, you know, like a white guy that grows up in Jamaica.
But
was
you know,
He has
try
that
to
perfect
explain.
Jamaican accent.
Try to explain to someone how it's possible that you sound everything Italian, German, Polish, Russian to them, and then tell them you're Dutch.
That's because nobody even realizes Dutch is a thing.
You know, if I wanted to speak Dutch, because the problem is I used to be able to speak Dutch properly, but then because of the whole Polish thing, I started to speak Dutch like a Belgian. And every Dutch person knows that that is an insult, that word doesn't exist, which is why I stopped talking Dutch.
The Netherlands doesn't exist.
Wait, isn't that weird place where you can get those wooden clog shoes and daffodils or something?
Yeah, and there's some
tulip.
kid like with his finger stuck in a dike somewhere.
And windmills.
Yep. Lots of
And
windmills.
tulips.
Yeah, what's better than
From half
buzzing on
of
your
the
piano?
stupid countries under the water level, because for some reason they decided it's better to build under the water than above it. And so every so and so often they just, you know, flood half of their country. Not that much, but yeah.
On purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the
weird.
kid's gotta get a bathroom break, you know, he's gonna pull his finger out of the dike.
Yes, we're talking about Dutch accents, Joshua.
Don't they also have lederhosen?
No, that's Germany.
That's
Southern Germany.
Yeah.
Is that like more Bayern than German? Like, I don't think the Northern Germans have that.
yeah, you guys were the ones that set up trade with Japan.
Zell says it's okay that they have to deal with lo-fi, so he can understand you perfectly. Lo-fi is very Dutch.
How
That's
Dutch
when-
is it?
Oh.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
We really need a soundboard for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we could use some sound effects. That'd be pretty sweet.
And dear, I see you in the chat. Don't tempt me. I wasn't even thinking of putting you in lederhosen as a fun little thing. Now I might just do that for Oktoberfest.
Hell yes! Ren will be taking donations to put Igor in lederhosen.
Very good.
You know never to give me ideas, dear.
Igor
me
already
ideas.
has lederhosen. Thank you very much.
No, he
If you
actually
let her
doesn't.
come up with her own ideas, she doesn't cause as much trouble.
Oh, now that's just mean. He's starting to play polka music the entire time.
Oh, please. I'm good without the oompa music.
You don't have to play it the whole time. If you play it for like 5 minutes, it gets stuck in your head for the whole time.
Fucking chicken dance.
You son of a bitch.
Goombop.
Oh, sorry, Zell.
didn't have
Lo-fi is a
one in
Dane. Sorry. My bad.
Yeah, I'm still not understanding how Dutch is a thing.
Apparently
Yeah,
it
you
is.
totally made that up.
It's like
Yeah,
how
that's That's a made-up country, isn't it?
It's like how Switzerland is really just a bank that also happens to have a chocolate factory there.
You're just trying to make a white Black Panther, aren't you?
So is Germany a brewery?
You know, the thing with the Netherlands, Netherlands, with the thing is, it used to speak, like in Germany, in the whole German place, they used all to speak the same bloody language. And then eventually they decided, some of them just start to, talk German, and the other one, we just keep on talking Dutch for whatever bloody reason. And then you have the Belgians who just, mix in the French, and then it sounds completely off. And it's just, I don't know. Neither of those countries, like, Belgium shouldn't really exist. It should be split between the Netherlands and France, and off you go. And Netherlands, it's a scrape. It's like a hole. It's like the coast. It's like the German coast that's not very German because it's Dutch. But because it is Dutch, they are allowed to smoke weed there, which the Germans are not. And so the Germans have a place to go to vacation where they're actually allowed to smoke weed, which is why it's good to keep the Dutch.
Okay. You just made the case for the Netherlands existing, and not only existing, being a whole bunch of ours dream plans for vacation.
You didn't tell me Amsterdam was in the Netherlands. Now I believe in it again.
American Phoenix for $5. Why do the Dutch allow women to pay for half the date? That's not natural, and Dutch women need to learn the natural order of things.
Yeah, and by the way, why do you guys have those doors? Don't you ever hit your heads on them?
She had to drop out. She was having issues before.
You like open the bottom and just bam right into the top. Like, do you have to turn two knobs?
I actually have absolutely no fucking clue what you're talking about.
Dutch doors.
As long as we're talking about countries, I'm pretty sure that Norway is Sweden's sock account. That's the country they use to troll everybody else.
Now that I believe in the Netherlands again, Norway's moving on to being the white Wakanda.
White Conda.
That's not too. They're actually probably closer to being Wakanda on account of being on top of a bunch of oil.
The new slogan of Norway is "We was Wakandans." If the right people heard that, it would be hilarious.
Yes, that would be. Oh, here's a new story. Anyone remember Farrah Abraham from Teen Mom?
Yeah, she did a porno or something.
Apparently, she's suing she's about to fight Viacom and the whole Teen Mom production company, saying that they cut her to basically sex shame her.
I mean, what?
Further explanation needed.
They cut the footage to sex shame?
No, this is the thing. She filed a complaint of harassment, wrongful termination based upon gender discrimination, and retaliation based upon gender discrimination. All this stemmed from an incident that happened between her and Freeman on October 30th, 2017, the day before she was fired from the show. Apparently, quote, she was harassed, humiliated, and discriminated against, disrespected, ridiculed, and sex shamed during the October 30th meeting, where she claims actions were in response to her decision to pursue opportunities in the adult entertainment industry. That's her complaint. So basically,
she's complaining about getting slut shamed when she wants to be a porn star.
Yes.
Yeah.
Saying that's why they fired her.
I feel like she's setting up for the feminist speaking circuit.
Yeah.
And I can understand that they want to do a show about they want to do a show about a teen mom, not a porn star. So I can understand her, if she wants to do porn, the show is probably totally legally within their rights to fucking, cancel the show and fire her.
No, they didn't cancel the show. They just fired her off the show.
Oh, well, yeah, there you go. I'm just saying, like, if you have an employee that you find out that they're actively looking for another job,
but that's not necessarily true. Like, you could go for a part-time job, for example, or for a side job and still wanting the other job. Like it's not necessarily the same thing. And the problem is if they didn't have in the prerequisite contract that she's not supposed to pursue other movies or other film stuff or other kinds of film stuff, and she still shows up regularly for her recording and everything, and is in order for her quote unquote regular job, it's very hard to fire her just on the basis of she's a prostitute or whatever, sex film whatever maker.
I guess technically she's allowed to look for other work when she's done with this too.
Yeah,
Because,
exactly.
yeah, film shoots don't last forever.
Yeah.
Well, then she might have something.
Yeah. Well, it depends. Apparently, she says she was fired because, according to her, because she made an internal complaint against the producer Freeman, and MTV retaliated, quote unquote, and cut her from the show. I don't know how true that is, but
If she has evidence for it, she will get a lot of money.
yeah.
Yep, to fuel her
Porn
sex
addiction.
Because
Yeah.
the thing with this kind of jobs is you can say, okay, listen, you have a certain reputation that is not very convenient for our company. I'm sorry, but under these circumstances, we cannot necessarily keep you. So you can make this as an argument as a job giver. But the point is, if, for example, she had someone coming over and slut shame her, because of the role that she took, the film role that she took, what can happen easily is that she says, okay, listen, he was harassing me, they were clearly firing me because they were not fine with me, expressing myself the way I want to or whatever. And there you go. Case made for her. The moment they start, be insulting, no matter what they believe or think about whatever she does, the moment they start, nagging her, insulting her, being, nasty with her, then she has a case. Very easily one too.
Yes. And I'm supposed to remind Dolphin to ask the question again since Isoth is back. The super chat question from American Phoenix.
Sorry, yeah. What question was that?
Oh, why
That was a
do
super
the
chat
Dutch women? Why do the Dutch allow women to pay for half the date? That's not natural, and Dutch women need to learn the natural order of things.
I think it's actually the other way around. Because the thing is, it's something that Americans have a very tough time to understand. Is that if you go to different countries in Europe, they have very, very different culture and very, very different way of thinking. Not that true nowadays anymore because we have too many immigrants, but extremely like not even 15 years ago, if you would go to a particular country, you would find them acting in a very particular way. For example, you would go to Germany and ask them what kind of punishment would you get if you would drive without the driver's license. And the response in many cases would be, you cannot go without a driver's license. That's not allowed. And that's it, because that's the way they're thinking. You say the very same thing to a Dutch person, and the Dutch person is like, depends who the police guy is. So it's a very different way of thinking. And especially in the Netherlands, in the older times, you had this thing where it's like, women have a very, very strong character, where they really like to have everything quote unquote equal. They like to, be just as bossy as the guy in a partnership. They like to, just as much, get stuff and have stuff. But at the same time, they also want to give the same amount of stuff. So it is very, very common for them to be like, you know what? Yeah, I want to have a Ferrari too. You got a Ferrari, I want the Ferrari for myself. But you know what? You pay half of the rent, I pay half of the rent. You pay half of the whatever wedding, I pay half of the wedding and stuff like that. That is super common.
That does sound a whole lot more equal.
Yeah,
And everything.
very egalitarian
It
and stuff.
sounds reasonable as shit.
And the thing is, because of the fact that especially my mother had this kind of upbringing, I had a very tough time to get used to the Italian people or later on to the Polish people, because someone opening, like Italy, not that much, because in Italy they're kind of quote unquote crazy. But you go over to Poland, every guy constantly opens you the door. And the moment you open the door for them, which I would take for granted, or I was taking for granted, they would look at you completely shocked. It's like, hey, that's my job, And you're standing there and you're like, oopsie, sorry.
You're like offended? Bet you opened the door for them?
I'm just holding the door open.
No,
asshole.
not offended, but just completely shocked. It's like, what on earth is going on there, you know?
And then you go to America where nobody opens the fucking door.
Are you
for
a trap?
I don't
Wait,
know.
where do you live in America that no one opens the door for each other?
I mean, it's not a hard and fast rule, but I've noticed it less and less. Also, people standing on the wrong side of the fucking escalator. Stop it.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I teach my boys, even at 2 years old, it's like, no, you open doors for people. But I can see how it's actually really interesting to see that, you know, it's much more equal in the Netherlands than it is elsewhere, where it's like, hey, maybe buy the guy a beer every once in a while.
You know, the thing where you see it the most, is I was once standing in a casa, in a thingy place, where they pay. How do you call that? Yeah, cashier, no? The cashier place.
Cashier.
Yeah. So I'm standing there and I'm looking at this candy and I'm like, should I take it? Should I not take it? Should I take it? Should I not take it? Well, my stuff was being passed. And so eventually I reach for it. And the woman next by is like, nah, you don't need that. Goes on your hips. And that is something in the Netherlands that, you know, happened quite, you know, frequently, or not exactly that, but something similar. Right? It's like, they wouldn't really be upset about this. If you would do this in Italy, people would freak out.
We have a $5 super chat from American Phoenix. That makes me think Dutch women can't cook and are horrible in bed. Rebuttal, Lisa?
Well, I can cook and I'm good in bed, so what do you want?
Wouldn't that just mean everybody can cook and is good in bed?
Opal is not Dutch.
The thing is, you know, just because you want to be, you know, equal and, you know, have equality in that sense, doesn't mean that you suddenly can't do shit. You know, it's not like, it's very likely that, for example, my Dutch uncle is super good at cooking, but so was his wife, and so is his daughter. They're all good at cooking because they all cook, you know. If you look at my father, he wouldn't be able to cook if you would, you know, force him. If you'd hold a gun on his head, he wouldn't be able to cook properly. You know, his mother would, because she's a very traditional person, but his sister wouldn't, even though she was living most of her life in Italy.
Because she didn't want to steal the mom's kitchen?
Yeah.
I'd imagine it'd be harder to cook with a gun to your head. I feel like, don't make those eggs runny, bitch. I will fucking kill you.
Oh, that's right. Italian women
will execute you.
Italian women are much more likely to actually try to execute you if you mess with their kitchen. Their kitchen.
I've heard that. I've heard the French always close their doors. They have their doors closed in their house, like every door closed all the time. It's just like a cultural thing. Like everybody closes their doors.
I've not heard any information on this, but from the number of videos of Australians talking about what they're confused about America, apparently there's no toilet water in Australian toilets. Maybe seeing it spin the other way just freaks them out. But.
You know, it could be that they just have to save so much water that they started to not have water in the toilets a couple of decades ago. Who knows? Like,
if you actually go and watch, like, 10 things an Australian found weird about America, every single one of them be like, your toilets are really full of water. Like, that's a gallon, and that's 1.6 gallons. What the hell? What do you pee in?
Are you from Cape Town? What's going on here?
Wow.
So we don't use buckets over here.
I have to say, toilets is a very interesting thing because you can see the difference in toilets already just in one country. If you are at the very north of Italy, you have a nice, you know, clean toilet, you know, flushes super, you know, hyper modern toilet, whatever you want. You don't really have to clean it or anything. Quite decent toilet. But the more south you go, the less of a toilet you have. But first, you know, the thing is missing, the seat and stuff is missing. And then eventually, all you have is like 2 places to put your feet and then a hole, and you just shit in. So yeah,
I was about to say, by the time you hit Sicily, are you just digging your own hole in the woods?
by the time you hit Sicily, I mean, not everywhere, obviously, in better hotels and stuff like that, you still have proper toilets. But because when I was traveling around Italy, I wasn't really traveling, high society style, because why should I? I was, traveling low money thingy, low class, whatever. And no, they have issues with toilets there, I swear.
Mm.
Although the funny thing is, in Italy, it's also a matter of like where you go and when you go, because like they have this thing where, especially in the north, they sort of kind of act a bit like the Austrian people, which means they have a tinge of German in them, where they try to get stuff done properly. And the more you go south, the more you feel like you're in Africa. And like if you pass Milan, suddenly you feel the fingers around your arm when you have a wristband clog or something. And you feel, the hands going around your pocket if you have like, the cash bag visible and stuff. And the amount of tourists who get their stuff stolen because they don't understand that you have to put your cash bag away so that they can't see it is just amazing.
You gotta do like they do in Brazil and put your wallet down the front of your pants.
Yeah, then you know when someone's grabbing it.
That is a thing that I did not realize when I started working in Miami. There was a guy that went for his wallet to pay for something, and he like unbuttoned the top button of his pants, and I was like, whoa, buddy, the shit are you doing? And he's just like giving me this weird look. He's like, I'm getting cash.
Oh yeah.
He had like $2,000 worth. He had like $2,000 worth of fucking 20s down the front of his pants.
Wow.
I mean, I wouldn't want to pickpocket down there either.
I piss
Are you
cash.
sure about that?
No, they're literally special wallets that they sell in Brazil that go inside your clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they
You
have
just
wallet
basically wear
belts
them
too.
under the pants.
Yeah. I just maybe your pants are a little too tight if you got to unbutton the top to get your wallet out.
If you get mugged in Brazil, you're going to be surprised when the first thing they say is like, take off the pants.
So Thorn, it's
Take
no
off your
different than
pants to give me all your money.
Thorn. It's no different than in Chicago, where you're taught to put your purse underneath your jacket.
Right? Yeah. Or if you have a backpack, you kick your feet through both of the backpack straps when you're sitting on the train, just in case somebody runs by and tries to grab it.
I always put mine on my lap, but I would hold it, but I would wrap my arms around the back bands and hold the front towards me or the back towards me.
So
I can't stand sitting in a wallet. I usually keep it in my breast pocket or my front pocket if I'm not wearing a jacket.
I've done socks, but like keeping money in my socks before, though.
I've done keeping money in your cleavage.
Yeah, that requires cleavage.
I've done that too.
Robert, tell the truth. Are you that guy that can like pull a wine bottle out of there?
Cleavage is more likely to get stuff stolen, though.
You have to make a big show of getting it out.
Yeah, and you get molested if you get robbed. You get robbed and molested. Molester robbed.
Yes.
You just like saying your name a lot.
I know. I was about to say like that sounds like.
Yeah, that's not something you want to start yelling out a whole bunch.
Charges being brought against me.
It'll become your new nickname, and you don't want it to be.
Molester Rob.
No, unless it's inviting people to molest him.
Yeah, I'm not really sure that's a good idea either, but just me.
No, it's a bit more of a legal one if he invites people to molest him, though.
Ani, in most urban areas, they're not going to take the phone out of your cleavage. They're going to either hold you up with a gun or a knife and tell you to take your phone out of your cleavage.
This is why purse underneath jacket. It is the easiest thing to do.
Actually, there is a much easier, which is you have most of your cash inside of your, jacket or your whatever, and then you have like a fake purse, a fake whatever, and they can steal that.
Oh, yeah.
Locking purses are also a thing.
I actually had a friend who she'd take all her ugly cheap purses, and those are the ones on the out. She used to do the same thing. It was on the outside of her jacket. It was the ugly cheap purse. And her one nice purse, she called her baby. because she saved up
Was inside. Yeah.
like 3 months worth of babysitting money to get. That was underneath the jacket. So she'd always have the ugly cheap purses stolen like that. And it was like, oh, okay, you took that.
Is it weird that I've never had anything stolen in Chicago?
No, I'm sure there's a lot of people that haven't had shit stolen in Chicago.
You just avoid the very tourist areas.
Yeah, there's not like 100% mugging rate or something like
Right.
that.
Well, and also I heard horror stories from Brazil. They'll actually have people like they'll drive by on motorcycles, use a knife to slice your bag strap, and just draw it right away.
Oh, yeah, that happens.
Dude, that's fucked up. Isn't Brazil like the capital, like the kidnapping capital of the world too?
Yes.
Yep. Yep.
Pass.
I would never. Yeah, this Rio is a hard pass for me.
And Zeal, Chicago, Chirac is only a very specific area of Chicago.
Chirac is Englewood.
Yeah. If you
And they
avoid-
call themselves Chirac, so that's not just
Yeah.
me.
And if
trying
you
to-
avoid Englewood altogether, you're okay.
You know, the thing is, it always depends because depending on which country you go, there are always the places where it's safe to, you know, basically leave everything on the table, and other places where it's dangerous to just even breathe, in a sense.
Right.
I mean, there are places. Let me think. When I was in, I think it was the Czech Republic, they have several discotheques there.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in a quite a big one, quite a known one, but also one that is more like for, you know, not necessarily, you know, because you basically have two types of people in the Czech Republic. You have the people who go for the hookers, and you have the people who go for the discotheque. And if you go for the discotheque, that's for the people who go for the discotheque. I was completely drunk, you know, young girl, you know, what was I, 16 maybe, 15, 16.
Mhm.
Left my wallet, left my ID on the ground in the bathroom because I was too drunk to understand. 2 hours later, when I was sobering up, I was like, holy shit, I have that stuff still in there. Went back, someone picked it up, cleaned it, and put it on the counter so that I would find it.
Oh wow.
Wow,
You know?
that's nice.
And that's Czech Republic, a place where usually you get everything and the sun stolen, you know? And then you go home, my home place back then, in the north of Italy, where people are actually extremely well off. 5 seconds, I turn away from my phone, turn back, and it's gone.
Yeah.
Oh,
I had my wallet stolen in Miami. I actually was in one of those outdoor cafes on Ocean Avenue, and I left it. I was talking to my husband, and I left my wallet like on the edge of the table. I have no idea when during the meal it was stolen or who took it, but I looked down and it was fucking gone.
yeah.
Smooth as pig shit. Holy crap.
How
Like, I was
smooth is
almost-
pig shit?
If it wasn't my wallet, I probably would have been impressed.
Oh, Dolphin, are you not blocked by Steve Shives?
I am not blocked by Steve Shives.
Oh,
I
You're not
actually
blocked by
have-
Steve Shives?
I've
gotta
actually
get
had
on
an
that.
email conversation with Steve Shives, and
Okay,
he was very
Wait.
polite and courteous to me.
You're on speaking terms with Steve Shat. How?
No. I did not say that, nor would it be true if I did. I am not on speaking terms with Steve Shives. We had an email exchange, and he was very cordial about saying he had no intention of really entertaining conversation with me or any other anti-feminist or anti-SJW.
right on. At least he didn't block you.
No, he was really cool about it, and he didn't block me.
So anything crazy that Steve tweets, I'm blocked, as are the entirety rest of Twitter.
Yeah, I know. Like the
So-
entirety of the internet's blocked by Steve,
I
and for
wish
some
more
reason,
people
I
who
get to
weren't
see his
blocked by him.
tweets.
Yeah, I wish more people who weren't blocked by him would take his crazy tweets and fucking screen cap them and repost them.
Yeah, no, they would get blocked instantly the
Nobody-
moment they
That's
did.
that's how you get blocked by Steve, though.
Yeah.
No, you don't
I've-
tag him in. You just fucking just
The
repost
fact that I don't know. I think that somebody would be like, "Hey, you know, he's reposting your crap," and then I get blocked by Steve, and I wouldn't
Yeah,
be
but
able to see
nobody
this. funny.
follows you
It's
anyway.
hila-
They won't know.
It's really hilarious.
And
if I did that, people would start following me. They'd be like, "Yo, you want to see what Steve said? Check out Dolphin
no,
Radio."
if someone really wanted to do this, and I don't say you, I say someone, quote unquote, if someone wanted to do this, what you would have to do is to make a second Twitter account, copy the stuff from the first account, paste it on the second, and off you go.
Soccer account to follow Steve Shives. Literally, the minute I made my Twitter account, I was blocked by Steve Shives.
You know,
Yeah,
you were
same
just
here.
following the wrong person. I mean, it was the same thing with me and Logic. Like, the main reason I got upset with Steve Shives was mainly because from one moment to another, where before he went crazy, he was actually a nice person, you know?
Yeah.
And
I've
then
heard this is a thing.
suddenly, for whatever reason, things just went completely south with him. And he just changed the way he was and the way he acted. And there are still people who, once in a while, invite us and chat with us, who are still in good terms with Steve Shives. And it's like, the reason I was upset with him, more than anything, is because from one moment to another, I was blocked and I had no idea what I did. Like, zero. I was just, for some reason, following someone, suddenly, that he didn't like, and then his Autobot just blocked me.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, I didn't even know who the other person was that I was following. I was curious to follow that person because everyone was making such a hassle out of him.
Well, do you think Steve Shives is one of those people? Do you think if he had glasses that like only showed you people like you who didn't block, he'd see no one around him?
Wow.
I just had that recollection of
That's
Scrubs
silly.
where
It's
he's
just
like
dolphins.
all the women take off your wedding rings and like the room fills up with hot women.
Did any of you see when he got trolled by PewDiePie?
No.
No. Tell us.
PewDiePie, somebody fucking asked PewDiePie if he was blocked by Steve Shives. And of course, PewDiePie is like, who the fuck is that? He checks and he is. PewDiePie's blocked by Shives and he retweets it, goes like, what the hell is going on? And Steve responds to him going, oh, it was just my block bot. I'm so sorry. Let me fix that right away for you so you won't be blocked. And PewDiePie's like, no, it's all good. It's all good, Dad. Like, you go, you do you. I'm fine being blocked. I don't give a fuck. Just like, what the fuck? But Steve totally was cucking to PewDiePie.
But PewDiePie is one of the biggest, YouTubers.
He's the biggest.
You don't want him on the dark side. You don't want his mob around you.
PewDiePie is one of those YouTubers that even Steve Shives goes, fuck, if I can get even a percentage of his followers, I'd be rich.
I loved when I think it was CNN invited PewDiePie onto their network and he was like, no thanks, I'm bigger.
Yeah.
Like I can reach more people on my own platform than
you can come on my show though. I'll fucking let you on PewDiePie's show. That's what he should have said. That'd be cool.
No,
I think he
because
did.
then
I
you
think
have
he did.
to get in on their show.
We have a $5 super chat from American Phoenix. To quote the girl of my dreams, fornicate Greenpeace with a rusty chainsaw.
Nice. Way to get by those super chat censors. That is rather gruesome though.
Right.
I honestly, I would have to say copulate with is more poetic sounding.
The fornicate gets across the point so people can understand what word you're trying to say that YouTube has decided is a naughty word we shouldn't be saying.
Fair enough.
I wonder if sodomize is blocked.
I wonder how many languages vulgarity is blocked in.
If you do another super chat, Phoenix, you should try
Oh
and
my
work
God.
sodomize in there. See if it'll
People
let you.
start putting swears in other languages.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it only
that's always
works for
cool.
super chats. If you do it in the free regular chat, no, yeah, you can say whatever you want. Like literally
Yeah.
get away with anything.
But we gotta test out. We gotta test the fence for the super chat.
I swear
Try
this
Try
has to.
Scheisse.
Someone doesn't.
I guarantee
try
you some
Scheisse.
large network got
Yeah.
pissed off from people super chatting vulgarities at them, and that's why this is happening.
Why are you complaining? Why would they complain? That person still had to spend money to shout at you.
Oh,
You
another
still
one
get
would be
the money.
puta. Someone
Yeah,
trae
Mark,
puta.
and then you repeated that you did it so people can go look it up. Bad Mark. Bad Mark.
Yeah, bad mark.
Okay,
Do you
yeah.
have another
Sophane's,
topic?
for those of you who
Anybody
don't
got a topic?
know, Sophane's real name is Gretchen. He doesn't want to admit it because it's a girl's name, but that's it.
Gretchen, is das Gretchen?
Or is it Sue?
No, it's total disinformation to muddy the waters or poison the well. Habit.
Fake news.
Oh, I hope it's not Chad. I hope his real name's not Chad. That would suck.
Oh, that would suck.
Probably something even worse than that.
Lindsay.
Garfield.
Hunter.
Hunter. Tucker. No, Tucker's not too bad. Anything ending in
Lindsay.
really.
Billy Bob. His real name is like Billy Bob something.
It's William Robert.
Bob. That'd be Bobby Bob.
Richard. So he's literally
William
Dick.
Robert is Billy Bob.
Robbie Bobby.
Robert Bobby.
That'd be good shit.
Yeah. Good times. Great oldies.
Okay,
Anyway.
so can I read this Shives tweet that you sent me?
Yeah, go for it.
Read it.
This is from Shives today. Since most of my tweets today were about the atheist movement being a shithole where rapists and harassers are glorified while victims are silenced, I'd also like to remind everyone that the NRA is a fucking death cult and its political influence must be smashed forever. Thanks.
I don't get how the NRA is a death cult, but Islam is not.
My God, don't cut yourself on that edge.
Yeah.
How are
Wow.
rapists and harassers glorified?
I got my
They're not
issues with the NRA, but death cult is a little much.
Yeah.
It's a little bit much.
Is that actually edge? I don't think that's edge.
That is edge to the edge degree.
He didn't use one controversial or non-PC term. You have to.
Death cult, like completely.
Oh, he said fucking. That's right. Fucking is a naughty word. That's a hell of a lot of edge. I'll give him that.
That is riveted belts and trip pants edge.
You know what?
It also promotes saying fucking clearly promotes patriarchy.
Oh, yes.
It's a very phallic word.
You know, Steve identifies as an atheist and is the first to jump on any shitty behavior an atheist does. But he also identifies as a feminist. But he doesn't fucking recognize any shitty behavior that feminists do.
He's friends with
Why does he
Winters.
Because, all right, here's the deal. When you can't just go into a room, spot a pretty woman, and walk up to her and talk to her because you don't, have the qualities that it takes to do that and be successful, you tend to pander to them and do all kinds of other. It's just a coping mechanism, really. And so when you're constantly pandering all the time, and I don't mean that in a negative way, but when you do it all the time, it turns you into the kind of person who can see that group of people or that person or whatever as doing no wrong. Like like whether or not you know you're pandering is irrelevant. At the end of the situation, you've convinced yourself of the lie, and that person can do no wrong. And that's just the way it works. What bothers me is I don't understand why women and minorities and stuff like that, they hear all this kind of crap going on, aren't like, would you please stop blowing smoke up my ass? Just get the fucking lips off my ass and walk. Just give me 5 minutes.
When they do that, they're called Dutch, and people ask them if they can cook.
I don't want to hear about your ovens and blankets.
The thing is, and this is something that they have to be aware of. The way feminism is, obviously the way feminism is in the US has spread. It's like a poison. You can't export everything. You export the worst lunatic Christians. You also export the worst lunatic feminists. But the way feminism is in the US is a direct result of the traditionalism in the US. because that kind of stuff wouldn't work in other countries. Like, if you go to the Netherlands, they wouldn't have need of any of this kind of feminism that you have, because the culture is different. Obviously, nowadays, there is a lot of weird feminism and creepy nonsense around. It's because it got whatever imported, I would nearly say. And also, there is a lot of mess going on there with immigration and stuff. But the thing is, on a bigger scale, the reason why you have certain, way people act is because of the way the people before them acted. And it's always a reaction thing. I don't know if I make myself clear.
I think you did.
Yeah, fair enough. That is true.
And
Sorry,
I mean,
I'm
just think about it like this. Think about it like this. There was something, I don't know, I pointed it eventually out in my video somewhere, but think about the following. What does it mean that you are responsible for your forefathers or the forefathers of people who look like you having had slaves? What does this remind you of?
Very, very crazy black YouTubers.
Original fucking sin.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like
Well,
those
see,
are that is where this bloody idea comes from, because there is no logical reason for you being responsible for your forefathers. At no point is you being born and living and having a certain color of skin or having a certain way you are in any way making you responsible for anything but for the fact that you're you and you act as you. The only way this can be different is if there is a former ideology that pretends or presets that your forefathers make you responsible for them.
Yeah. Which, in a way, yeah. Go ahead.
The easiest way to convince a person that they need to do something or to live a certain way or whatnot is to convince them that they're born with something. There's something wrong with you from the very beginning, and if you don't do these things, then terrible things will happen to you. It's been used since the very beginning, and I noticed that when atheism jumped into atheism plus and it started jumping into feminism and all that, and the infection spread. I don't know if you guys watched that or not, but you have second wave feminism and you have third wave feminism, and it just goes in all these waves and it just gets more extreme every time. It's because you're combining all these things. Something I noticed about the atheists, I don't know who's breathing into their mic, but that's loud. But when they abandoned religion, they sought something else to replace it with. They still needed the religion, but they just didn't want it, to be an organized like church, God, and all that. They replaced it with feminism. They replaced it with all this Marxism, these ideologies, and now
feminism. Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to. Go ahead.
And I mean, and then you have leaders in the atheist movement, for example, like AIU, who started up his own damn pseudo cult. Basically, it's like you didn't give up religion, you just gave up specific religions.
AIU
You're still practicing.
was not religious. He wasn't born religious. AIU himself doesn't make the cult. The people who follow him turn into a cult eventually. But that's
he
the main
encourages
problem. No. The main problem is that if you are born in a certain religion, if you are born as a person in, let's say, Christianity, and then suddenly figure out, holy shit, there is no afterlife. A lot of people get a huge amount of anxiety, whether they're aware of it or not. And they have to pander to this anxiety. They have to make something to make up for it. And then you have the people who come with this whole morality thing. Where the reason this how is this guy called? This weird Canadian guy. I made a video about him. I don't remember his bloody name.
That doesn't narrow it down.
The Canadian atheist?
No, he's not an atheist. He's a religious dude. But the reason this guy is so famous with atheists is because
Jordan Peterson?
Peterson. He responds to their fear of, if there is no God, there is no morality. And in spite of the fact that those people are atheists, they are perfectly aware of the fact that there is no God. They know in their mind there is no God. Or at least that's what they believe. They still have the Christian anxiety. If there is no God, people can do what they want. And if you grow up without this, without having this fear, you don't even understand it. Like there are atheists who have been born and raised just like normal people, who have never heard about anything like this. And you talk to them and it's like, how can you be moral without God? They look at you funny because they don't even understand the bloody question.
Yeah.
To them, it's
They've
just
never thought about it
obvious.
before. They're like, I'm fucking moral. I've never needed God.
Exactly. And that is the main problem.
The proof right there that you don't have to have God to be loyal. That should be a proof for any fucking person who thinks that you have to have God to be a moral person.
I'm gonna go ahead and
American
interrupt
Phoenix
real quick.
for $5. Okay, even Spanish cussing is blocked. Let's think outside the box here. We can beat Google at their own game. Anyone know Puerto Rican cussing? That
That's
would
not
still
outside
be
the box.
Spanish.
Like, are you serious? That's your idea of outside the box?
How do you say fuck your mom in Aramaic?
I sent you some French ones. Try the French ones.
All right. And
How
who
about
wants-
this? Find foreign words that constitute vulgarities in English, and then write a foreign sentence including that word, and then get pissed off at Google. Be like, you didn't let me say mountain.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who wants to moan in Samaj's place?
No.
Samaj has not moaned in so long that nobody actually knows what it sounds like.
Yeah, he moaned the last time he was on.
Did he?
Yeah.
Who wants
I
to
don't
do it?
think it was a real moan.
Nobody has to do it. None of us are Samaj.
Fine, then Samaj owes American Phoenix a few moans.
I'm sure he'd be more than happy to give it.
Thrilled.
That's gonna be good stuff. I can't wait.
Hey, Samaj,
I'll
if
pay
you're
to hear
listening, go give American Phoenix a bone.
You know, my point.
You know,
that I
this
was gonna
American
say-
Phoenix guy is a fun guy. Why don't you just let him on the hangout?
We have.
He's been on before.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's a fun guy.
What I was going to say though before is feminism has a way to wash away your sins as well. Your original sin. You just have to admit that you have privilege.
Yeah, and that you have toxic masculinity and you have to shed it from you like a sin.
Yeah, you have to admit your privilege and do what you can to dismantle it, which is the same as admitting that you're a sinner and doing what you can to not sin anymore. You know.
I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for those feminist priestesses, to take, your how do you call this, confession, and then you can pay a couple of bucks, to end the patriarchy, and there you go. Next cult. In 2,000 years, we'll pray to the Holy Anita.
It'll just be statues of her by then. Come on, but they'll cover the with leaves.
Mm-hmm.
Some
We have 15 minutes left. You want me to invite American Phoenix in?
Yeah, bring him in.
Sure, go ahead.
By the way, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and take off for the night. Y'all have a great night. Issa, it was awesome hanging out with you. Come back on
Yeah,
Cunt Beta anytime.
I'll do.
Ren, Thorn, Rob,
see ya.
And
take it easy, Dolph.
Schmeckel, when you come back to life, and peace.
Peace.
Anyway, guys, hit that smash that like button on your way out or on your way in. And American Phoenix has got another super chat. So good night.
Another one. Thank you, Polish woman, but I'm taking. Sorry to break your heart. It's okay. You'll find the right man one day. Keep your chin up. I believe in you.
I don't want to disappoint you, but I'm married to logic.
They're all demons too. I don't know how that would work.
Yeah, she's Logic's other half.
Yeah.
She'd probably
you have a spawnling too, don't you?
What am I?
Yeah.
I said you had a spawnling too.
Oh yeah, we do. Little Hellion.
Little baby Beelzebub.
Yeah.
So weren't we talking? Aren't we getting close to having to call him like toddler bub?
Yeah, she's a toddler now.
Oh, don't you hate when they get to that phase? I miss the baby
Actually,
phase.
no, because you don't have to sit around all the time with the bottle in your hand. They are perfectly capable of eating and feeding themselves. They're also capable of not getting run over by the pets anymore, which is absolutely amazing. Unfortunately, they're also tall enough to reach knives. So yeah, that's a bit of a downside there. But hey, we're getting there. You know?
Ren's lucky in that Rumble can't run over anybody.
No, Rumble can run into, not run over. So the talking part's the more annoying part for me. It's like, I missed when you couldn't do that.
I have to say, I even like that because even though once in a while it's annoying, because of the fact that we are pretty quiet-ish in the house, she doesn't talk that much. But
Oh.
the thing is with the talking, she's able to explain what she wants, at least half of the time, which is more than she used to before. You know, we have like a huge increase, an infinity increase compared to what we had before, where she wasn't able to say anything. All she could was scream. And so when she comes to you and she says cheese, you know that she wants to eat cheese. When she comes to you and she says diapers, you know you have to change the diapers. Before you had to wait until half of the house stinks until you realized.
That's a good point. Though I can live without the repetitive mom and why.
Do you really have to wait though? Don't you like see your kid like taking a shit half the time in their diaper? They still make like the poop face, right?
It depends.
You know, I have to say, for some reason, my kid was just very agile. She wouldn't even stop. She would just go for it, which is kind of interesting.
It's on the move.
You know, no, sometimes she would hide somewhere in a corner and you would think, yeah, okay, probably this is like business. But sometimes she would just run around with the pets and then eventually you're like, something smells odd.
Yeah, that's the. Oh, crap.
Aw, somebody made a dookie.
Oh, that's a big dookie. Thank God for those diapers, otherwise it'd be fucking dripping down those legs.
Everywhere.
Thank God for the Huggies. Those shitty diapers, those off-brand diapers, they don't hold the seal around the leg like they need to.
This reminded me of a dad who, like, mom was sick in bed and he was taking care of their daughter, and he left her alone for about 3 minutes, and she managed to pull her pull-ups off, her diaper off, and he said, "There's poop everywhere." It is on the drawers. It is on the toys. It is in the carpet. It is in her hair.
Yeah.
He thought about just closing the door and waiting until mom got up, but that probably ended divorce proceedings. So he's like, I washed that carpet 3 times. It still smells like shit. I only left her alone for 3 minutes.
Yeah,
You
3
can't do
minutes is
that.
too long. 3 minutes is too long. That's just the way it is.
He's like, I noticed it was really quiet.
Yeah, no, they have this where they get like super quiet, you know. No, but like for example, Beelzebub is all into coloring around with crayons.
Uh-oh.
And so one day she found out that she can color the freezer because, you know, it's just an old bloody freezer. And we're like, you know, forget about it, whatever. So Logic calls me in and I'm like, you know, you stay at the freezer, don't move anywhere. Logic calls me to him. I swear, it's about 10 seconds at best. And I'm like, I have to go out and have crayons on the ground. Something bad will happen. It's like, oh, come on, 10 seconds. I go back, and half of the kitchen is covered in crayon colors.
Nice. Oh, what's up, American
Okay, what did I miss? It sounds like I missed something adorable.
Just crayons, kids with crayons.
Kids
Oh,
with
Me and my
that's
brother,
adorable.
when we used to start getting out of our crib, we would go to the kitchen and throw everything out of the refrigerator. As a teen.
I remember the first time. My oldest, the first crib we ever got was when we were still allowed to have those cribs where you could put down the one guardrail before they got rid of those that type. And I didn't know this, but apparently my son at about 7 months old had figured out how to wiggle the thing enough to get the bar to go down so we could escape the crib. It took 2 times of Igor walking over to me because he'd be out or something and go, "Did you just leave the baby on the floor to play?" It's like, no, he should be in his crib. It took twice before we actually caught him in the act.
Nice. I never did anything particularly terrible, but during the earthquake during the World Series, I forgot what year it was, but I was really, really little, and I don't remember doing this at all. But my dad was watching the game, and all of a sudden the earthquake hit, and they were explaining everything was shaking, they're canceling the game, and all of a sudden the channels started switching like really, really fast. And he was thinking, "Oh man, it's like what's going on? Is it affecting it all the way in Chicago?" And then he hears giggling from behind the couch, and finds me with the remote changing the channel.
Nice.
Wait, real quick.
So-
AW, yeah, this is the American Phoenix, man. What the hell? You don't recognize my voice? I'm fucking hurt.
Phoenix, were you you got any cute baby stories? I assume you were born in the back of a 18-wheeler.
Actually, my dad absolutely fucking hates truck drivers. I'm not even kidding. My entire life, my dad always told me that truck drivers are the stupidest bastards that God ever put on this green earth. Which is why I'm smarter than my brother, because my brother rebelled by doing drugs and, getting drunk all the damn time. I rebelled by picking the one career that my dad absolutely fucking hates. And now he has to accept it.
I was going to say, it'd be funny if he just hated you and he's using that. He just, every time he's talking about truck drivers, that's just his way of talking shit about you.
I don't want to make this kind of joke, but could it be that he hates truck drivers because his wife was really into truck drivers?
Being that my parents divorced when I was 9, I really cannot answer that damn question.
Oh.
And I'm pretty happy that I don't know the answer to that question, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something you don't need to inquire about.
I'll tell you what is kind of creepy, though. When my mom describes her perfect guy, she describes a guy with a big beard, medium to long hair, stocky built, hairy chest, country boy. My mom literally describes a guy exactly fucking like me, and it creeps me the fuck out.
That's
disturbing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little disturbing.
I don't think, and to be fair, once I pointed it out to her, she immediately realized how fucked up it was, but she described that oh yeah, that would be my perfect man. I'm like, Mom, you just described me.
Well, it's a problem describing your dad like when he was younger.
Yeah.
Actually, that's the kind of funny thing. I used to live in the town my dad grew up in, and people actually used to think I was him. Like his old neighbor actually used to talk to me like I was him, and I had to correct him. And my own grandmother actually thought that I was my dad, and the first thing she said when she saw me, she turns to my mother and goes, "Why the fuck did you bring him here?" Because they did not get along before she died.
Oh.
Me and my brother don't look too much like my dad, but a couple years ago on Christmas, my dad revealed that to our whole family that he had a kid when he was in high school that his mom had raised. And the mom had died, and the kid had gotten in touch with my dad because he wanted to it was his last surviving parent, and he wanted to be part of his life now. And when they sent a picture, when he went to meet him, and they sent a picture, he looks fucking exactly like my dad. It is so goddamn creepy that this brother I never fucking knew I had until I was 33. And he's older than us. He's like 48. And he looks exactly like my dad. It's so fucking weird.
I met my husband's dad once, and I looked between the two of them, and I'm just like, yup, you guys are definitely related. You look like an older version of him. What the shit? It was creepy.
At least you know how your husband will age.
I'm like, are you a clone?
At least it's your own kid, Like, if you're the father and the kid looks just like you, it's your kid.
Yeah. Well, it's almost as weird as my husband actually just got a copy of a photo of what his grandfather looked like when he was my husband's age. And they look eerily alike. And it's like, it's just weird.
His uncle also looks a lot like him.
Mm.
There's an old black and white photo in his grandmother's house, and for a second I thought it was him, but I'm just like, wait, that's black and white. It's too old. Oh, wait. Wrong person.
Yeah.
You know what, Thorne? The world just isn't black and white, okay?
I have to say, the creepiest part was when we went to elementary school, because my sister and I, nowadays we look a bit more similar, but we used to look very different. Because, and the main difference was that she, especially in the summer, gets super, super dark, like extremely dark. You know, you could see her and you would think she's a Middle Easterner, you know? So extremely dark as a skin color. And I would just always stay pasty white. Half of the time, people wouldn't even know we were related in any way or shape. And so she was bringing her own picture to the elementary school because they wanted to make, I don't know, some kind of art, whatever. And the teacher was shouting at her and complaining that she shouldn't bring the picture of her sister. Because when she was a baby, obviously, she didn't get enough sun to be dark. And so I had to go downstairs and explain to the teacher that no, my sister used to have bright hair. She used to look like me. That's her in the picture. I can assure you. That was crazy.
All right. You know, there is nothing fucking happening today. I searched Twitter.
Okay, Thraxy, you're gonna have
for
to
a
give some.
topic. It's got nothing.
Yeah, I actually looked at Reddit and stuff too for shit. There's not a lot going on today.
Yeah. Thraxy, I need citation for that, but apparently he's saying President Trump blamed video games for the shooting. Yeah. I'm guessing that means the shooting in Florida.
I think I saw a whisper about that. But
yeah, I'm gonna need citation on that though.
Didn't what's his name die? Billy Graham or
smartest
something?
Man.
Yeah, Billy Graham.
Yeah, he died. Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Yeah, not much to say about that. I wasn't a big fan, but
you know what? At least he wasn't fucking Joel Osteen, that son of a bitch.
What Joel Osteen say?
Did he just get hit by a meteor?
No, it was when remember during Houston the fucking Hurricane Harvey, that son of a bitch was lying and saying, "Oh no, my church is completely flooded out and I can't let anybody in it." There wasn't even any fucking water like up to the doors of his place. He just didn't want to fucking let in the people who had just fucking lost their homes and shit. Fuck that asshole. That is not a man of God. You know, religious, not religious. Sure. Like, there's good people, there's bad people. He's a fucking bad person. And it pisses me off that that he represents Christianity. And I have to say he does because, you know what, just like how when everybody talks about the Muslims and everything, you know, it's like you can't say everybody represents them that's good and nobody bad represents them. They have to be consistent and be like, yeah, if fucking that suicide bomber can represent Islam, Joel Osteen fucking represents Christianity, that dumb son of a bitch.
Uh-huh.
I really want to kick him square in the dick.
Yeah, but you see, there is a very big difference between many Muslims and you, which is that you go over and you're like, yeah, he's representing Christianity, but fuck that asshole, which many Muslims are not able to do.
Yeah, no, like I said, I'm gonna be consistent and be like, look, fuck that guy, but also, you know, I would hope that Muslims would be like, you know what, fuck suicide bombers. Those guys are cunts.
Well, this is why Imam Tawhidi is the person that I like.
Ooh.
Is that the guy on Twitter who's basically just been calling out that bullshit for like the past little while? I love that son of a bitch.
The Imam of Peace.
Yeah,
I'd buy that guy a beer if he could drink.
Right?
Drink it for him.
Yeah, drink it for him.
And you found a citation there, Thorne?
I found Forbes. Yeah, it's basically they're talking about a conversation he had with the Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi. That I'm hearing more and more people seeing the level of violence in video games is really shaping young people's thoughts. And then you go the further step, and that's the movies. You see these movies, and they're so violent, a kid is able to see the movie if sex isn't involved, but killing is involved, and maybe we need to put a rating system for that. The fact is that you are having movies come out that are so violent with the killing and everything else, that's maybe another thing we need to discuss.
Okay, I'm automatically against this.
He's not a smart guy. I'm sorry. But we have a rating system, you dipshit.
What the fuck?
Yeah, the It's the MPAA for movies and the ESRB for games.
Yeah, even comics have one too.
Yeah.
Thrax is like, there is a rating system.
There's a fucking rating system. There's games you can't buy unless you have someone with an ID with you.
Yeah, and it's the government that came up with that rating system in the fucking first place. God
Yes,
damn,
yes, it is. You should know this. You guys came up with it.
You know,
Like, I can't even find a positive in that one. Like, usually I can be like, okay, I can see where he's coming from. I may not always agree with it, but I can usually be like, okay, wait, I see where he's coming from with this one's just fucking stupid.
See, this is the same shit I've been saying for a year, I guess. Those stupid shit.
Yeah. No, and I'll freely admit that, President Trump is definitely not the smartest guy ever. I want him to succeed because I want my country to succeed.
Right. Same.
But yeah, like, he was never my choice. I mean, I voted for him. Would not have voted for Hillary. But yeah, no, I mean, he is not exactly a paragon of fucking high thinking.
No.
But the thing is, that's not why he was voted for. I mean, the vast majority of people realize very well, and hopefully, that he's not really the smartest of all. But that was not why he was voted in. People voted him in because they were so sick of everyone else.
Right. No, and I think that in a way President Trump is kind of a good thing. Like, the attitude I think was good. I just wish, he had an above room temperature IQ at times so that way he could pair his attitude with good shit.
Yeah.
Like if we took fucking, Senator Cruz as an intellect with Donald Trump's attitude, we would get a lot of good shit done.
Oh man, he handled that town hall thing so well. I don't even like the dude, but he handled that really well, and kudos for showing up.
Yeah, he actually showed the fuck up. I think he needs more props for that.
Yeah, way to represent your constituents. Because that's
Are you talking about the CNN town hall?
Yeah.
Yes.
That was Rubio, not Cruz.
Rubio.
Oh shit! Sorry.
Rubio.
Oh right, that wasn't the East Bay rapist.
Look, yeah, fine. I get it, Thorne. All people, look Mexican. We're all fucking the same to you, huh?
No, I was making a joke earlier about him being the East Bay rapist, and I got the names mixed up.
Oh.
Damn.
What? He looks like.
Well, okay then. I mean,
he looks like a Hispanic version of the drawing. I'm sorry.
So racist.
I know.
So racist.
I wouldn't have come here if I knew that there was going to be so much, anti-spic messaging. How dare you insult those damn dirty wetbacks? See, the thing is, though, Thorne, I'm Mexican. I can say that.
I prefer the term shipwrecked Mexican for myself.
Wait.
When you say it, it just seems racist.
Why do they have to come by ships? Don't they have like this giant border?
No. I'm Puerto Rican, so I'm a shipwrecked Mexican.
Oh, I see.
Oh, okay. Well, you're just the wrong type of brown.
I am. We get
actually, I can't. My girl's Puerto Rican. I can't make that joke anymore.
I can't.
Actually, what's funny is, okay, she's Puerto Rican and Irish. I'm Mexican and Black Irish. So literally every part of us just hates each other.
Yes. And feels very guilty.
But that's your arm? That's totally Black Irish is white? Is that what you're saying?
Black Irish is French and Irish. Basically, they met up in the hills and fucked, and that was basically how Black Irish came to be.
Black about them. They're just pasty on pasty action.
Well, I mean, we have pretty bad credit. I don't know if you can count that as a black thing.
Oh. Boo.
Thorne, we good? We good?
Don't ask. I do frequently joke that according to my genetic results, I'm actually black enough that in the Civil War they would have enslaved me in the South.
Well, hey, you know what? At least you know that you would have passed the test on something.
I'm pale enough they'd assume I was rich.
Object of Hate wants to know if I park my truck on the front lawn. I don't have a truck. I don't have a car, though.
Thorn is object of hate. Here's the thing you got to know about Thorn. She is a good woman who understands her strengths and weaknesses, and therefore she does not drive.
Hey, I've only been in one accident. It wasn't my fault.
Hey, you know what, Thorn? I ain't, no hate, no hate.
Well, the funny part was when the person got out, I realized it was my college professor, and it was kind of awkward.
I hope you got fucking like at least some straight. I hope you got like some straight A's out of that shit or something.
They could give me a better grade on my next project for that.
Of course you did. It's like, please don't mention that I hit your car.
It was the fastest insurance payout ever.
I'm sure.
Well, yeah. Well, insurance companies gotten better at that. We get our repairs done Monday or Tuesday, and the insurance company's already said he's pretty much signed off on it. So, yay.
Oh, good. So they didn't end up totaling it?
No, they didn't.
That's good. I'm glad you guys are all okay. I really am.
Oh yeah. So are we. We're very happy. But then again, Igor knows how to drive and knows what to do when you hit a patch of black ice. So, yay.
Right. Well, this is a lull in the conversation. I say we go back to casual racism.
Does anyone want to continue talking about how Democrats or people in Florida are batshit crazy for thinking porn is bad?
No, it wasn't the Democrats. The Democrats were the ones saying that this is a waste of fucking time.
Republicans.
Yeah, the Republicans are the ones that think porn is a health hazard.
Oh, God.
You know, I hate when they do shit like that. Because it makes us all look bad. Like, look, I got no fucking problem with porn. It's just like, for fuck's sake, though, guys. Come on.
More important things.
Like, I was happy that they voted down the resolution, to talk about banning guns. I'm very happy that they voted that shit down. But the fact that the very next thing they did was like, no porn. Porn is bad. It's like, oh, come on. Why do you do this shit to us?
Because because that means they can't even talk about it for 2 years.
Can I ask a weird question?
Go ahead.
How much money under the table do they make if porn is illegal?
Oh,
I don't know.
Because
probably a lot more
when people in the government ban or forbid something, that's the very next thing that pops into my mind, because I've seen so many politicians in so many different countries who always had their dirty fingers in something when something was illegal.
That is true.
Yeah. Then again, I also think what happened with liquor. We're going to ban that dirty devil juice. What happened? The mob went, thank you.
Cool, we're going to burn Chicago down.
Yeah, we're going to shoot up this area. But don't worry, all the cops will be paid off in whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much. I think I want to fire.
The funny thing was, sorry, didn't want to interrupt you.
Oh, I was just going to say next Valentine's Day, I want to fire Thompson.
Dude, Battlefield Las Vegas, Thorn. I'm telling you, Battlefield Las Vegas. You want to shoot a Thompson, they got it. You want to shoot a minigun, they got it. You want to shoot an M4, they got it. Anything you want. You want to hop your skinny little ass in a tank and crush a car? It's $2,600, but they'll let you do it.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
Battlefield Las Vegas, motherfuckers.
Sorry, I didn't mean to
interrupt. Shit out of that.
There is this saying in Italy that if you want to have good drugs, you have to ask the police.
Wow.
Because they are by far, depending which police, because there are some cops who are like straight and lawful, and you don't want to catch those. You want to catch the other ones. But in the vast majority of cases, if you want decent drugs, those are the people to go to, because A, you won't get, caught because you got it from them. They make money off of it. B, it's decent stuff because that's why it was confiscated in the first place. And C, because of the fact that you know them and they know you, you will not get into trouble later on.
Oh.
Well, you know what? Drugs are bad.
Okay.
Yeah, drugs are bad. But if you totally want them, then you have to totally go to the Italian police. No, seriously. It was hilarious. It seriously was hilarious. But, the thing is, they have the saying where it's the darkest right where the light shines.
They say that? Who says
I didn't.
that? No, I'm kidding. I'm just fucking with you.
Guys, where the
unfortunately,
light is shining, below the shadow is the darkest. I don't know how to translate it.
Oh, okay.
guys, I unfortunately am going to have to go. I have some work I have to do. It is past 11. I know Schmeckel should be in the show at any time, but he very well might be passed out. The show might have to keep going on for an indeterminate amount of time.
Yeah.
Hey, I got fuck all else to do tonight. I'm parked now. I'm at my customer.
Nice. Iseth, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me.
Always, yeah, I know it's just kind of real laid back and just real casual fucking stream tonight. But
Those are the
you're always a delight to talk to all the time. All right, take it easy, guys.
Later.
Take care, Robert.
Bye.
Good night. Good night, chat. You guys fucking
Good night. Yeah, I don't know what to do because we can't end the stream.
I cannot.
I'm the only man left surrounded by a bunch of women.
Yay!
Beate tra le donne.
Well, it just means as we keep dropping off one by one, we eventually just leave Schmeckel in here.
Pretty much.
And in the morning, if he's still in here and it's still going, one of us hops in to yell at him to get him to turn it off.
You know, the weirdest part would be if he would wake up, not realize, and swear into the mic or say something weird.
Or he
like, I don't know. We have this running joke because Logic is completely paranoid about saying something weird when he records. And so he's like, he makes this joke where he's like, yeah, hopefully I just don't shout Heil Hitler into the mic without noticing and stuff like that. You know? And, it's a joke, obviously, but the thing is, imagine him waking up and saying something completely off the band crazy, something like, holy shit, my dog shot the gun on my chest or something like that. And everyone can hear it.
And even if he doesn't remember saying it or doesn't think anyone was listening, that soundbite goes around to everyone's live streams.
Yeah. I'm getting pretty tired.
Yeah.
And hungry.
Yep. Well, you probably ought to eat something. Oh, how was your fish?
It was tasty.
Good. What'd you end up doing with it?
Lemon pepper. I wish it had skin on it, though.
Yeah, the skin, cooking with the skin does make a difference.
I really don't like leaving the skin on if I'm smoking it or if I'm, cooking on the barbecue.
Pan fry.
But because most of the time if I'm cooking in the oven or pan frying it or something, honestly, I just take the skin off and I use that and I make some glue.
Cool.
Yeah, there's all kinds of shit you can do with animal parts. It makes a decent glue. But it's also really good for making, if you don't want to go the glue route, it also works really good for making fish stock. So you can make a good soup.
Yeah.
No, I just like to fry it. It's just like crispy fish skin. Yum, yum, yum.
I do that with the tails. I like you fry the tails up in some good oil, get those nice fish chips.
Fish tails?
Yeah, you fry them up till they're nice and crispy. They're called fish chips.
I just make stock out of the tails.
Huh? Well, you do that, or I'll take the skin, the head. I split the head down the middle, so that way I get that nice brain and eye matter in there, and then I'll take the skeleton of the fish that I filleted all this off of, and I'll cook that down for a little bit, fill it full of some water and stuff, and just let that reduce a couple times. And that makes a really good fish stock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and fish eyeballs are actually pretty tasty.
Okay.
Well, you know what? It's my one 85th Cherokee in me that I just don't like wasting animals.
Mm.
I mean,
and on that note, I'm starting to fade, and it's midnight by me.
yep, ditto. I mean, like I had like Depression era German grandmother.
All right,
I
later,
don't think
guys.
I gotta go too.
Yeah,
We should just sign off and leave Schmeckle in here by himself.
we should.
Let's just do that. I'm Thorn, also known as Mrs. Midnight. I do streams on my channel and I do horror narrations and possibly also movie reviews. And I also have a Tumblr where I did a movie review and I don't know what the fuck else I'm going to do with it. I'm tired. I'm going to bed.
We're all going to go to bed. You know where to find us. Links below.
Links are below.
Am I linked below too?
I don't think so. Do you want to...
Hello? Am I still audible here? Did you kick me out already?
No, we can still hear you. No, you're not linked below, but someone could poke Schmeckle for it too.
Yeah, yeah. Guys,
well,
poke Schmeckle for
type
it.
in chat real quick, and then everybody can find you off that.
Yeah. I cannot type on anything here because my phone and I have a difficult relationship. You know. But if you would do it for me, that would be super awesome.
And if you're not
yeah,
subbed
sure.
to
What's
her,
your
sub
name?
to her.
My name is in YouTube name is Isethoriginal.
How the fuck do I spell that?
Isethoriginal.
Isethoriginal.
Iseth original.
Got it. All right, I put it in chat.
Yay!
Me too.
Yay! Thank you.
Yep.
No problem.
So
Trippy Poop did too. But
yeah, guys, we're gonna go. If you hear noise and you're still here, it's probably because Schmeckle woke up. But this counts as the end.
It's gonna continue until Schmeckle wakes up and stops the stream. So I'm leaving. Bye.
Appreciate you guys inviting me on though. It's been fun. I'm just gonna say goodbye to people in chat then, I guess. Goodbye, Thorax, AW. Good night, my friend. Bad Porn Comedy Hour. You take care. Joshua Janice, good seeing you, buddy. Malicite, I think that's how you pronounce it. Take care. Paige, a very good night to you. And everybody else, just good night to you. AW, I'm not just gonna keep going. I need to get some sleep or something here in a bit. Is it just me and you, Iseth?
Yeah, I'm just waiting until everyone goes away.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like abandoning anyone, Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're probably just going to stay and keep talking. Trippy Poop, fuck you. No, I am at a customer, not a truck stop, and besides, I don't pay for sex, you degenerate fuck. Object of hate, motherfucker, you take care of yourself. I will see your ass next time. You're my fucking nigga. I've only been on this thing like 3 times, but for some reason these people love me.
Well, it's because you swear at them.
Well, I mean, I don't have to swear all the damn time. I just, do it on occasion.
Yeah, but the thing is, imagine being this kind of condescending person who always wants to have like this, washed up, crazy, super curated kind of language. That sucks. And so if you go over and you just swear around a bit and have fun, everyone likes you because, hey, that person is actually genuine. That person uses language that I, use in normal human language conversations once in a while, No,
I get you. And, I'm glad that people like me for basically just being me because, quite frankly, I am just an American asshole. I'm loud, I'm boisterous, I brag a lot, but I can back up what I say. I like having fun. Mr. LM002, you have a good night, sir. Hi, Ren. Yes, we're still here. Joshua Janice, you stay good, man. Good night to you. Yep. Oh, and hi, Mav. I didn't say hi to you yet, and I feel bad about that. How are you? Wait, Cunt, this is the first time you've ever heard my voice? I could have sworn. Oh, maybe you weren't there when I was in this a couple times ago. Huh. Okay, well, yep, this is my voice. I believe I've heard you speak once. So, where are you, if you don't mind me asking, like, where is it that you're currently living, Iseth?
In Canada.
Oh, you're up there with all the Canucks.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, you can live.
Yeah, but, I mean, no Second Amendment, none of that. I mean, that just, I don't know.
They
I'm
have
very
guns.
much an American.
They have guns up there. They don't have free speech, but they have at least guns.
Yeah, but it's so fucking limited on guns, though.
Yeah, but Canada, I have found, even though most of the people actually stick to the rules, Canada is very Italian in the sense that if you know how to get the stuff, you get your stuff.
Yeah. No, I mean, and that's a good thing. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm glad that there are people in Canada who are armed. I don't know, when it's not considered a basic human right, anything that's given by the government can be taken away by the government. And I just have a very fundamental distrust of federal governments. I'm not one of those people who's like, no government, anarchy, but I just don't trust that they have my best interest at heart.
The problem with government often is not really that they're malicious, but that they're heavily incompetent. If you give your government anything, your name, your taxes, your anything, and they have it all. I mean, hello. But if you give them that stuff, you can be sure that it's either out in the internet, someone messes up with it, something happens with it. It's just a given. The moment the government has its hands in anything, stuff gets fucked up.
Yeah.
I mean, the only reason we pay those idiots taxes, is because it keeps people who are too stupid to be able to count to anyone together employed because they don't get any other job. And the other reason is because at least someone eventually fixes our streets. Because if we would have to pave the streets ourselves, we would be there tomorrow because everyone would have another idea when and how and why to pave the street. And so you need at least one person who, delegates it. But, even that, a stupid, incompetent person at least does something eventually. But yeah, that's about it. That's about what the government is for.